Welcome to Not by Bread Alone. You know, we're coming into summer once again, the time of year where we love to be outside. We love to be doing barbecues. We love the potato salad, the macaroni salad, the fruit salad. Well, today I'm going to show you how to make a different kind of salad. And it's kind of like a whole meal all in one. It is my Chinese chicken salad. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is to prepare the chicken. So, and depending on how many people that you're trying to feed is going to depend on how much chicken you're going to use, but you're going to use the chicken breast. For my husband and I usually don't buy the chicken itself. I buy the pre-cooked chicken, chicken strips, which is okay, and I'll use a couple strips for each one of us. But if you're buying the chicken and you're going to do it yourself, then, you know, I would allow, you know, maybe half to whole chicken breast per person, depending on how much people eat. So with that, you're going to need 1 egg, a half a cup of milk, a half a cup of flour, and a half a cup of corn chips. You will take the egg and the milk and mix them together, and then you'll take the corn chips, the flour, and you can throw in a little salt and pepper in there, mix them together. They'll be in 2 separate bowls. Then you will dip your chicken in the egg mixture, then dip it in the flour and corn chip mixture, and then you can fry it. And then once your chicken is done, you can just set that aside. So next then, we will need to make our dressing for the salad. So very easy, and you know, usually we think of like ranch dressing or honey mustard or something like that for salads, but this is a whole different type of salad dressing. So we're going to start by using 6 tablespoons of honey. Oh, get this in there. And I sometimes will double my recipe just because I use a lot of dressing. Now, I have family members that joke with me saying that I have a little bit of salad with my dressing. And I like to just saturate my salads. But it is quite good. And it's quite sweet. As you can see, that we are putting in a decent amount of honey into this. Says 4, we need a couple more in here. That, we'll get that, and now just 1 more. There we go. Okay, very good, very good. So, all right, now we're going to use, Now we're going to use 1.5 tablespoons of the, we're going to use 3 tablespoons of the red wine vinegar. So get that poured in there. You know, the first time I made this, I'm looking at these ingredients and I'm thinking, no, that's kind of gross. I would never put those things together. But once you get everything together, it comes out really very tasty. So then we're going to use 2 tablespoons of the spicy brown mustard. That's 1. That's 2. Okay. And then we're just going to use a 1/4 teaspoon of sesame seed oil. There we go. And then our last ingredient for our dressing is going to be a 1/2 cup of mayonnaise. Seems like no matter what kind of dressing you make, you're putting mayonnaise in it. There we go. We'll just put that in there like that. There. And then you're just going to take a whisk and kind of mix it all up together. Yeah. I have to be very careful when I mix this because the honey is kind of sticky on there. Takes a little bit to get it mixed in with everything. And if you're as messy as I am, you will just see a little splurts going out of the bowl here and there, just making a mess. But you will get that all that mixed up really nice and good. And it will have a nice sweet flavor to it. Obviously, because we have so much honey in it. But, okay, maybe I can get my cameraman to kind of view in on this dressing so that you can see what it looks like. It's kind of almost a light mustard color for that. So, okay, so we got this set up. We're just going to set that dressing aside for now. That, and I'll get all this set aside as well. Okay, so then for the salad itself, okay, we are, there we go. We're going to start out with some romaine lettuce. Okay, and you're going to use like 3 cups of romaine lettuce. Just want to get that chopped up really nice. There. So, like I said, you know, this salad is basically a meal in itself. I mean, you can make like some breadsticks or something to go with it. That would be really good. But yeah, you really don't need anything else in there. I'm going to get some of that thrown in there. It's probably about 3 cups. Okay, then we're going to add some red cabbage. So, and I am adding like a half a head of red cabbage with this. Well, let's see if we can just get this chopped up here. Oh. You know, I love Tupperware, and I used to sell it, but I liked their measuring cups because they would have like 2/3 in there. They would have an 1/8 in there, which other such cups don't have that. Okay, then we'll just add that into there like that. And we're going to add about a half a head of Napa cabbage as well. So I had these measuring cups were just like one day, half of them were gone. We could not find them anywhere. We looked and looked, and finally, after a couple of weeks of looking for them, we went and we bought more. And once you know it, we lost those 2. And we looked and looked. We could not find them anywhere. But I needed measuring cups. So my dear sweet husband went out and he bought some more. So now, somewhere around the house, we had 3 sets of measuring cups. A couple days later, we found the lost ones. So now I have plenty of measuring cups. Okay, then we're going to add that Napa cabbage into that. And so we're just going to kind of mix that up a little bit. And as you can see, it does make a decent amount. And I probably should have used a bigger bowl. There we go. All righty, nice and beautiful there. Okay, and so then you are going to add 1 green onion to it. And I've already got my green onion cut up there. So we'll just kind of sprinkle that in and around on there, like that. And we're going to add in some shredded carrots. And how many? I use a handful of shredded carrots, and I just kind of put them in there. And so now we're just going to kind of mix that up in there too. There we go. Very nice. Okay. And then we will take, once again, another handful of sliced almonds and put those in there. Kind of sprinkle those around like so. Okay, and then we need some Chinese noodles. We'll use the crunchy ones for this. Once again, we just use a handful of the Chinese noodles and just kind of sprinkle those in and around on there too. And then our last ingredient, we are going to slice up our chicken. So, which I had prepared my chicken ahead of time. So, I just buy the pre-cooked chicken strips, and for my husband and I do 2 for him, 2 for me, and then it seems to be plenty for salad for us. So you're just going to cut those up into bite-sized pieces like that. And part of the reason why I buy the pre-cooked chicken, because I'm a little on the lazy side. The older I get, the less I like to stand there and try to cook a piece of chicken. I love to cook, but just something about cooking chicken I just don't care to do. So, you know, this has been very nice for me. Alrighty, so we got our chicken put up in there. And you just kind of sprinkle that over the top of your salad. And it all up in there. It looks like quite a bit of chicken, but really for the amount of salad, it really is not. So there we go. We have completed our Chinese chicken salad. Now I'll have my cameraman kind of view in on that for you to see. You can see. Now, sometimes you can do the dressing one of 2 ways. You can pour it over the whole salad and mix it in, or you can just, serve the salad and have the people just spoon it on as to how much dressing that they would like to have. So anyways, that is how you make the Chinese chicken salad. I will be posting the recipe for you to have. And I think I will fix my husband and I a bowl of this, and so we can taste and see how sweet it is. For we give God all the glory and thanks for the provisions of these foods.